All right, Jason, let's talk about all the negotiables in a real estate transaction.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's literally
everything. Literally. You should know when you're buying something that expensive, it's everything. Everything is negotiable.
Yeah, so one of the great reasons to use an agent when you are buying or selling is because there are little things that we are more privy to than the average buyer or seller, like the negotiables. Now, there's the standard ones that everyone knows. Things that you do an inspection, things pop up, like the appliances don't work or the roof is leaky or whatever. Those things you can negotiate either cash or that the buyer or that the seller fixes those things before you move in. Mm-hmm. That stuff's standard. But let's talk about the other random little things that are actually negotiable in your purchase.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Well, let's talk about appliances, for example.
Okay.
Some people do tend to take their washer and dryer with them.
They better not.
Yeah, so, which, I don't know, like we don't see that often, but it happens.
Sometimes it happens if somebody just bought a brand new one. And more importantly, it's something that you need, right? Most people need a washer and dryer and they don't do it by hand anymore. Right? Anything most people? Right. So if somebody's pushing... Right? In a market like today, you're not competing with a lot of other people. You should absolutely make sure that the seller is willing to not sell you for extra, but give you the washer and dryer.
Leave it.
Yeah. Really important.
Yep, totally.
When I think about furniture, it's always best to do this outside of the transaction.
Okay.
You might think, a lot of times I know we say $1 million houses. It's just an easy number to kind of talk about. You're like, I'm selling my house for $1 million. But I've spent $200,000 on my furniture over the years. But the truth is, if you've spent all that money on furniture depreciates, meaning goes down in value like crazy.
Yeah.
I had a client who owned this amazing, big, huge house in Bellevue that was like $5 million. He had this $20,000 pool table.
Okay.
Never even used it, right? $20,000 pool table. We tried to sell it on... all those different sites you can sell it, offer up, whatever.
All that kind of stuff.
And what we ended up having to do is sell it back to the pool table, the billiards store for $1,000.
Okay.
So you just don't get a lot for it. Appraisers look at the house as the house, not like a desk we're sitting at or bookshelves or a TV. You're just not going to get what you think you're going to get for it. And also, if you do it outside of the transaction, you'll just get cash.
The whole point in that is if you're a buyer and you walk into someone's house and you're like, I love their furniture, it fits perfectly in this home, that is something you can negotiate.
Yes. Yeah. Boy, did I go on a tangent.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Here's another thing that not a lot of people know. Let's talk about rent back. So
what does that even mean? Do you know?
Well, I do.
Okay.
Let me explain it, Jason. So if you are selling your home and you're going into another home, or maybe you're moving to another state, but you need a little extra time in your house. Like a typical close is around 30 days, but let's say you need 45 days in your house before you can get out, or maybe 60 days. That is something you can negotiate with your buyers. Say, we're closing in 30 days, but I want to stay an extra 30 days after that.
So in this hot market that we just went through, what happened a lot in the state of Washington is that if you needed a couple extra weeks, you got those couple extra weeks and you didn't even have to pay for it.
Right.
So you might even need a month, which would be, that means that new owners, the buyers, now become landlords. Let's follow this trend. You become a tenant in your own house, but you get to stay for free while the new owners pay for your mortgage. That's a killer deal.
Yeah, that's super confusing. Basically, end of the day, you can negotiate staying in your house a little bit longer after closing.
Right, so you could either get it for free or you have to pay for it.
Yeah, let's talk about kind of the weird ones.
The one that comes to the top of my mind, and this has happened twice, are koi fish.
Koi fish are negotiable.
That's happened twice in the last year. One time, the buyer paid extra for koi fish that they live forever.
Koi fish when they're full grown, are actually really expensive.
And then, so the buyers paid extra for this koi fish. The seller accidentally, which I don't know how that works.
How do you accidentally take your koi fish? But he accidentally took his koi fish.
Took the koi fish, but luckily he was nice enough and he replenished all the koi fish that he took. And then secondly, it just happened more recently.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, they had a bunch of koi fish.
And the buyers absolutely wanted the koi fish, and it was a point of discussion about what those koi fish would cost. And honestly, I don't know how much they cost, but I know they're really expensive.
Yeah, it's just like funny to think that people are negotiating koi fish because it's like, it's not a pet, but it's a living thing. It's like someone would negotiate.
Is it not a pet?
I don't know if a koi fish is a pet. That's a totally different discussion. But
Yeah.
that's like someone negotiating in their dog, like, hey, can I keep your dog when I buy your house?
Gosh.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But some other things that we see very, very often are trampolines. Trampolines are not super easy to move. And so many times buyers are like, are they going to leave the trampoline? Can we keep the trampoline?
And so, I mean, I think what I'm thinking about in this discussion is don't be afraid to ask for free.
Yeah.
Another recent example is we sold a house on a huge lot, 2 acres, right? And they had this killer John Deere lawnmower tractor thing.
Lawnmowers.
Right? And so like a little push lawnmower that costs a couple $100, you probably don't care about and they'll probably leave it behind. But they had this really expensive riding lawnmower and we had to help.
It even had a name. They named it Stacy's mom.
That's what it was called?
Yeah.
So you can negotiate that, but again, that typically happens outside of the sale because an appraiser or people aren't going to see a lot of value to it. So you can help your clients think about, or we can help you think about how you buy that or how you sell something like that outside of the transaction.
Okay, so basically whether it's a roof or it's a lawnmower or it's a koi fish, you can negotiate everything.
You say a roof?
Yeah, if you need a new roof.
Yeah, negotiate it.